NFL training camps are now underway, but from 1994 to 2001, Toledo native Myron was a safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, earlier this summer, he was honored by the African American Legacy Project as a sports legend of Northwest Ohio. Mark Coons chats with the Macomber grad about his days as a Mac man and his post-playing days. Now living in North Carolina, Bell continues to give back while working with youth in the school system and in his church.
There's a transition period when you retire and then finding that next thing. I knew I wasn't a corporate guy, I knew I had a passion to work with kids. And so I went down and kind of figured out, met some people, got in the right group to start to open up a residential treatment facility. So did that, and then certification and rules and regulations got changed, so I had to, I went a different direction. And then I went to a nonprofit that I tried to create called Bridge of Faith. That was a spin-off of that. It's still a problem today that kids that age out of foster care in these places, once you turn 18, you're in the real world. And you don't have those support things that, Medicaid and all those things. It's kind of hard to get for you. So now you have an 18-year-old that's functioning at probably a 12 or 13-year-old that's viewed as a man. And a lot of places they fall to was homeless shelters, prisons and gangs. And so that's something I try to do. But then this was 08, 09, economy was not very good. And so I still chase that passion of working with Charlotte Macomber schools. And so I've been doing that for going on 17 years.
How much do you get out of investing into kids and into the future with that?
There's no dollar amount on it. It comes in different, 10s, 20s, 30s, 100s, it's just whenever reward comes, you appreciate it because it doesn't come often when you're working with lower performing schools, and that's normally where I've been targeted to be at because that's what I relate to the most and identify with the most.
Growing up in Toledo, what was it about athletics that drew you?
It was a way out, fun, hang out with your friends after school. Exercise, it was just something that we did, was sports because we emulated what we seen on television. We emulated what we seen our local high school guys playing. We emulated what we seen some of the people at the park, Smith Park, playing basketball. So just something that was the thing to do.
During that era of City League football, you didn't have the night games. How difficult was that?
Well, I don't think we even thought about it as being a big deal, and I think we did have a few night games back. I think my last year was 89. No, 88. My last season was 88, and we had some night games. But just playing the game brought enough joy for me. I didn't care where we played at and when we played.
You played both football and basketball. Obviously, football's what you went on to play both collegiately and professionally. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's talk a little about that basketball team because a lot of people think Macomber 88, they just think Jimmy Jackson, but it was not a one-man team.
Well, it kind of was a one-man team. He did a lot for us, but we had so many pieces that, what people don't know, that team was a mixture of Martin Luther King Elementary School and Nathan Hale. We battled through elementary school and then on to Robinson and DeVoe. And then some of DeVoe decided to come to Macomber. And so we all knew each other very well. And we all in middle school thought about going to Macomber, which we were, and to win the state championship, which we did. So it worked out.
Macomber was a vocational school, so anybody in TPS could go there.
Right.
So there was a little bit, I don't want to say recruiting, but there was a little bit of discussion about, hey, we can all come together and,
right,
and maybe be a little bit like a dream team before we had dream teams.
So in that case, yeah, because I grew up in the Scott district, and there was some, influence to go to Scott, but I just never see myself playing there because another thing that helped it out, which I don't know if he was recruiting or not, but my head coach at Macomber was my phys ed teacher at Robinson, and Coach Bill Youngs, who became like a father to me. And so, but like I said, everything worked out. And when it really comes down to it, players recruit players.
What type of impact did Coach Youngs have on you?
A huge impact because he knew where we came from. He knew what we were into, and would always drop little nuggets throughout school during the football season. I'm talking about early on, elementary and middle school and freshman year, and just kind of kept us in the right direction. And it turned out that he was one of my biggest advocates throughout my career, even in Pittsburgh.